This video is going to be a brief introduction to the Flight Simulator X software we will be using for the Future Pilots League and some of the resources we have available to us to actually practice for the competition. Last video I showed you how to actually log into the software. The next video after this one I'm going to go over loading the mission files that you will use for the competition and to practice the competition files. But this video is going to be basically an overview of how you do basic maneuvers or you load mission files for practice, things like that. So I want to start down here under Learning Center where it's this key topics area is not really, it's kind of a basic overview of different things, and I really think that the focus should be directed towards lessons. Now this is more of how you perform basic maneuvers. So they have a student pilot, they have private pilot, they have instrument pilots, they have different options for you to actually learn specific things. For instance, this mission right here is on stall, so it goes into the actual science behind a stall, how it happens, and then how you get out of a stall. And the great thing about this Learning Center area is that you can actually practice the mission that they just talked about. So practice a plane that's in a practice what happens when a plane is in a stall and how you perform the maneuvers to get out of that. Going back to Learning Center, we can do things like different takeoffs scenarios, how you land in a jet or how you take off a jet, how you fly a jet, those types of things. You will, in the third mission of the competition, be flying a 737, so you might want to concentrate on the person that will be flying that might want to concentrate on these training missions. The person that may be concentrating on the Lear jet might be concentrating on these scenarios. Next, I want to look at missions. So missions are pre-installed missions that are tutorials, and they put you in different scenarios they'll give you a grade on how you performed in a timeline. And then finally, free flight. So free flight is great because you can go ahead and pick any plane that they have in the software. So any plane that we want to use, for instance, we can go with a jet. I can change the weather. Maybe I want to make it a thunderstorm or heavy snows. I can change the type of day if I want to fly during the day, during the night, if I want to fly in the winter, the spring, the summer, the fall. And then I can change my location. So I can just go ahead and change my location to Pittsburgh International Airport, which I already have it set, and I can just take off and have no direction, basically just go fly around and explore. But the great thing about this software, another thing I really like about it, is I can choose different countries, and they'll put me in different regions if I decide. So I can go to the United States, let's say. I can pick, I'll go look for Pennsylvania. And then by city, let's look for Pittsburgh. I'll move down. So you can see all the cities in Pittsburgh. They have everything from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh to Erie to Latrobe. Let's see, Pittsburgh. There you go. And then you can see in the Pittsburgh region, we have Allegheny County Airport or Pittsburgh International Airport. So I will choose that. Next, I'm going to go into the flight planner, which is something you're actually going to use whenever you do your missions. And this is already going to be set up for you, but this is just for your own fun, exploration, and curiosity. You can use this this free flight to explore and just play with different planes and practice things for the mission. So I can select departure, Pittsburgh International, and then I can choose my destination. I can fly to a different city. I can fly to a different country if I choose. And all those options to really do any of that stuff is built into the game already, which is great. So visual flight plans or rules, this is kind of different types of flight view. If you want to use instruments for navigation, if you want to use visual, which is if you're flying from Pittsburgh International to the city of Pittsburgh, which is what you're going to do in mission 1, then you would use visual flights. That's where you can look out the window and actually see it. When you're flying like a 737 or 747 or an airliner in that realm, you would use instrument flying for more professional. Routing is basically kind of a technical level, more of the instrument flight rules, but we use direct GPS in the competition, and then flight route. So this stuff is going to be something I already set up for you. So you have these maps in the flight binder, but if you're just practicing, you can set it to whatever you want. So I can go ahead and put waypoints in there, which is already something that's done for you. I can zoom out. I can put a waypoint way over there, whatever I want. And my GPS and my plane will actually take me to these waypoints. All right, they'll ask me to save it, obviously, and I can just save it, whatever, it doesn't really matter. and then I can go ahead and start. And when I'm doing fly now, I'll just be dropped onto the airport that I chose, which is Pittsburgh International, and I'll be good to go. All right, next video will be on how you actually load the mission files to practice for the competition. Thank you for watching.